Archive is a 2020 sci-fi film written and directed by Gavin Rothery and starring Theo James and Stacy Martin. And Archive is kind of flown over the radar, which is interesting because it has every component to be kind of a successful indie film, but no one has been talking about it. It's been barely publicized. So I was looking forward to this, mainly because of Stacy Martin, because I'm a big fan of her work. I've seen most of her films by now, even some of the more obscure ones like Taj Mahal, and I really love her work. I really love how she acts every way she portrays a character. It's the kind of performance that could easily be in every film she is in. It could easily backfire, it could easily be stale, boring, and uninteresting, but she always makes every single character believable. She always brings them to life in an exciting way. And she has a lot of talent, a lot of skills. I'm really excited to see what she comes up with next. But this film basically got announced, got barely any publicity, any pictures, anything at all, and then it was just dumped on direct-to-video, which isn't always a good sign. That usually means the film's pretty bad. But going into this film, the only thing I really knew outside of the cast was that Gavin Rothery, this is his directorial debut, feature debut, but he's working in the art department of a few sci-fi films, including mainly 2009's Moon. And the biggest compliment I can give this film is that it's not derivative. It is clearly inspired, it has shades of a lot of different sci-fi films that you've seen before, the two main ones being Moon and also Ex-Machina. But what I really appreciated is that he tried to tell something different. A lot of those sci-fi films, they're mostly focused on the dangers of AI, what it means to be human, artificial intelligence, and all of those things. More focused, more geared towards the scientific part of it and the moral conundrums that come from it. And Archive is more interested with different themes, more human ones rather than concerned with science. In this case, grief, the afterlife, going through the long 5 stages and not wanting death to be a thing, wanting to prolong the time with someone you love, not wanting them to just die instantly, but rather having that go forward as long as you can until you actually feel ready to say your goodbyes. It's very interesting, it's very fascinating, and the concept here is that, the premise at least, is that you have Theo James as a scientist for a robotics lab, and he's living alone in a Japanese facility where he has basically a way to contact his dead wife, like her consciousness or soul or whatever. They're kept inside a small box, and he's trying to do everything he can to bring her back to life inside of a robot, inside of a robotic body. And he's basically built 3 different versions of her, and it sounds silly, but in concept, you have like this one robot who's very big and janky and cannot talk, another one can talk but has very limited movements, and he's trying to build like a new one that has human features. And the relationships between Theo James and those robots, they made the film. They like, props to both actors. Stacy Martin doing a lot of voice work as well in this, but also when she's actually on screen, either in flashbacks or when she's playing the 3rd version of the robot. Both of them are doing terrific performances. The film has to work because of them. If they had bad chemistry, if you didn't believe anything that was happening, you would absolutely hate this film. But it actually really works. They make everything believable, everything very engaging. You do believe that he's just lost it, emotionally speaking, and he's trying everything he can to keep bringing this person back to life, just like it was in the past, but also acknowledging that that can never actually happen. It's very fascinating. There's a lot of interesting philosophical discussions in this film. Where it does fault a little bit for me narratively is that it tries to be kind of a twisty film. As you know, I mean, if you've seen Moon and Ex-Machina, they have big twists in them. This one, it's not a bad twist, actually very good. It's foreshadowed though to hell. Like, I would be shocked if a lot of people don't actually see it coming, because I've probably seen too many films, I don't know, but it didn't ruin the film in any way. It didn't really lessen the enjoyment. But the twist itself added nothing, nothing to the narrative. That was the most unfortunate thing of it. It's an effective twist. It does leave you a bit sad, a bit shocked. But in the end, what does it want to say? That's kind of where it left me. I don't really know where it wanted to go with the twist. But still, other than that, the film is very well put together. It's very minimal with its sets, but it's all very well lived in. It's all very nicely put together, good production value, very economical filmmaking, solid cinematography, a lot of very, very good camera work. I really dug the score in this one. The music is very, very great. One of the best ones of the year so far. And I do really like the effects as well. They do a lot of practical work, which is very refreshing, thankfully, and also probably cheaper than using a lot of VFX. And when they do use CGI, it's usually very well hidden, very well... they work around it very well, very effectively. And there's also this light film grain effect on everything that actually blends those effects better than it would have if it were just shiny digital look. So yeah, Archive. I wanted to talk about it because no one's been doing that. I think it's very much worth a watch. It's not spectacular in any way, it's not great, like don't go in with high expectations, but if you like sci-fi films, if you like stories about artificial intelligence, and especially if you're into kind of a sadder look at grief and losing someone you love and just doing everything you can to bring them back to life, and to not lose the memory, I think this is very much worth your time. And if you love Theo James and Stacy Martin, this is a must-watch. This is some of their best work, easily. But still, guys, have you heard of Archive? Do you want to watch it? Tell me in the comments below. Thanks for watching, but to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.